let's just talk about camp and how it's unfolding at the moment. I'm going to say it's like the business end of camp, but to be truthful, you've been in camp for such a long time now, it's all been strictly business. The reason I say that, though, is Rob McCracken is back from the Olympics, so it's a slight change in what you've been doing. The main team is back together. How was that being without him, and the fact that he's back now?
Rob's a great coach, great general, great leader. It's good to have him back in camp. You know, we expanded the camp in 2019, and in a way it worked out because of the Olympics. So we had Joby Clayton, Angel Fernandez in camp. We had sparring partners, still progressing. We have WhatsApp groups, Zoom calls, so we could still stay in touch.
Was that a case of like sending the footage to Rob, or were we sending sparring footage and reports and stuff like that? How did that go down? And I suppose with the time zone difference and stuff like that, it made some interesting conference calls.
Yeah, definitely. So they're dedicated to the cause. They're doing more studying on my opponent. I'm doing more studying of my preparation with the team that was back in London. But we're all back now, no problem. We're experienced, do you know what I mean? Look at Messi, he went from Barcelona to PSG and he's still going to score goals, still going to do what he does. So for me, I'm experienced. If Joby's there, Angel's there, Rob's there or not, I've got to be professional and still carry out my job.
What's good, family? So mash the like button and subscribe. Wow. So we just heard there from your man's Anthony Joshua. Where do we start? So the first comment I've clipped in there for you, man, is AJ calling Rob McCracken a true general. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You man know my opinion on this one. A true general don't abandon his troops for nothing. That's my opinion. And ain't never going to change. To be honest, with any athlete, when you sign to train an athlete, you should give them your all. That's with any athlete, to be honest. But when you're considering potentially one of the greatest fighters in history, if not, people say, oh, IB, you said he could be the greatest ever. Well, fine. Whatever way you want to look at it, potentially could be one of the greatest in history. Could be. Rob McCracken has the opportunity that most trainers never get. And the way he receives that blessing is to treat it with a part-time attitude. It's just shocking. But what's even more shocking than Rob's attitude is AJ's sideman attitude. How and why does he allow it? If you believe you're as great as you are, I've never heard of anything like it. Show me historically, like AJ, again, this reminds me of, what's that? There's a psychological, There's a psychological illness where people, Where people's abusers, they start to see them as, some sort of syndrome. Yeah? There's a syndrome where sometimes when people are captured by an enemy and they're kept for a long time, they start to believe their captors are beneficial to them. Some sort of official medical syndrome for it. Either way, you've got Rob McCracken treating his athlete as a part-time gig, dropping in, dropping out at will. Is Rob going to take half the pay, I wonder? That's a question, I don't know, you tell me. Since Rob's dropping in and dropping out, is he cut his pay enough? I don't know. That's a question I'd be wondering though, because this guy, for me, Rob, just looks like he's taking the piss. But again, somehow Rob McCracken has weaved this psychological illness into AJ, and you've got AJ now defending the FUCKery. You've got AJ saying, oh, but no, it's alright, it's okay, Rob treats me like a part-time thing. It's okay, Rob's got me looking like a sideman. But look at Messi. Messi went from this football club to that football club. Messi went from one full-time managerial football club to another full-time managerial football club. Messi wasn't working with a football trainer who was also doing the national teams. So it's not the same. But again, the fact that AJ even tries to draw that link, and in AJ's mind, that link was valid. Oh no, yeah, it's fine that Rob checks in and checks out at will, because Messi has the same situation. No, we don't. Messi works for a full-time football club. That's not the same thing. Do you know why? Because no football club would allow it. Barcelona or wherever Messi's gone now, PSV or whatever. I'm not sure, I'm not a football guy. You best believe every one of them teams and every one of their fans wouldn't accept any less. Can you have a laugh? Can you imagine if Chelsea manager or whoever started saying, yeah, well, you know what, I'm going to dip my foot in this and dip my foot in that. I'm going to do the England national team and I'm going to do a bit of Chelsea as well. I'm going to manage both. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Imagine for a second the Chelsea team or the Man U team and the England manager was one man. Do you think the England fans would accept that? Do you think the Man United fans would accept that? Or the Chelsea fans or whatever club it was? You're having a laugh. But more likely than not, people, I don't know whether it's, again, I can't even understand the situation, truth be known. And the worst thing is, you've got AJ Schiller fans who have this same sickness too. You've got AJ fans saying, no, YB, no, it's great, yeah. Rob McCracken's great, yeah, no, it's not, it's fine, it's great, yeah. He should be able to dip in and dip out, yeah. No, he does a great job for UK amateur boxing. What's UK amateur boxing got to do with Anthony Joshua as a professional athlete? What's wrong with you guys? You man are seriously slow. Seriously. You're suffering with this mad syndrome. I don't know what Rob McCracken be doing. He got you all under this weird little spell thing. It's mad. It's an absolute madness, truth be known. Rob's a general. I'm shocked. Honestly, there's been a few little hint things that AJ was maybe having second thoughts. Then this video comes out. Rob's the general. The general of what? The general of running around. The general of having no skills. That's the truth. Carl Froch had no skills. AJ, I hate to break it to you. Apart from having a great base, yeah, and great natural gifts, I tell you what you might need to do is start reading off some real high level things you've seen AJ do in the last 5 years. Show me the high level improvements you've seen. I've always said AJ has a great right hand and a great jab, but those are, I hate to break it to you, do you learn that the first year of boxing? And even that, to be honest, that isn't the same anymore. AJ isn't putting, watch the Pulev fight. AJ isn't putting a solid jab up there like he used to do. He's not. It's all fiddling around and nicking points here and there. It's not dry. He's not busting no one up with a jab. He's not busting no one up with a right hand. The right hand was rare and the jab was rare. People who know boxing were shocked for them 5 middle rounds, couldn't understand what was going on because there was nothing going on. And you want to talk to me about general? You want to talk to me about Messi? It's mad. I'm sorry. If no one else is going to call it, I'm going to call it what it is. This situation is mad. Bob don't know what he's doing, and he's also part-time. Wow, this is mad. This for me is like a cartoon, truth be known. It's a cartoon-looking ass situation. If you're honest with yourself, that's the truth. And the thing is, again, people say YB don't know boxing and YB this, that, the other. Show me in what other industry is this kind of thing acceptable. Where you're just dipping in and dipping out. Oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Got your foot in both pies. Where is that? Where do they do that? Where? Just tell me. Don't talk. Don't hate. Just tell where it is. Because you don't see it nowhere else. No one else would accept that. Nowhere else accepts someone juggling both. And what makes it even worse is the fact that AJ himself, he just seems to, not only is he accepting it, he's actually encouraging it. Which is what I've always said. Yeah, I don't like Rob. Yeah, Rob has no skills. Yeah, Rob don't know what he's doing 100%. Rob's the worst trainer in the history of boxing, in my opinion. If not for his lack of knowledge and lack of skill, for the fact that he shows his athletes no respect. That for me is a no respect move. Who does that? Oh, I'm going to train you, but also I'm going to do this as well. And that, to be honest, it works both ways. Yeah, I'm more concerned with AJ's career, but really, I don't know what the amateur team are doing either. Why are they accepting that? Oh yeah, we got a part-time head trainer thing. You know, he just kind of dips in and dips out, and oh well, we're sending. Oh yeah, but it's fine because we're sending videos on Zoom. Wow, sending videos on Zoom. Wow, I'm sorry, it's the truth. No, nothing to do with hate. All I want is the best. That's honestly, yeah. If AJ was performing how he should be performing, I wouldn't even mind so much. I'd be like, well, it's hard to argue against. But looking at the level of performances, looking at the devolution, he's getting less skillful. That's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. AJ is getting less skillful. Watch the Pulev fight. The tackle was sloppy. He was in there just banging away. There was no finesse there, as I've said many times before. Oh, but YB, well, you know, at least he was outboxing well, was he? There was no consistency there. There was no jab going. He spent the whole time disengaged and dancing around the place and running around. Seeing a big man like that run around from a dude who's 40-year-old was just shocking, truth be known. Honestly, shocking. But anyway, I didn't even want to spend a whole video on this, but we've got there. I don't really want to go into the other topics because I've got other things to talk about here. I mean, you know what, I might as well finish off on this one again. AJ says, they're dedicated. Oh yeah, my team, they're dedicated for the cause. Again, it's for me, yeah, it's the words. I wouldn't even mind, yeah, if the interviewer Don said to him, AJ, what's going on with Rob? And AJ kind of lied to himself. Oh yeah, it's alright. But the fact, it's his choice of words for me. He's actually using words that are the opposite of what's actually going on. What's the opposite of dedication? Swanning off to another event. That's not dedication. Dedication would be, you know what? Rob's dedicated to me because when he... Oh, an example of dedication would be, Rob chose not to go to the Olympics. Rob chose to sack this job off 3 years ago or 2 years ago. When Rob agreed to train me, he sacked off the amateur training job. That's an example of dedication. Dedication isn't, well, he's swanned off to the amateur job and he's on Zoom at 9 at night. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? For his $1 million payday, that's the least he could do. Get on. I'd have some of that. I don't mind jumping on Skype either for a few $1 million. Pretty sure we'd all do that. It's just shoddy all around. Shoddy training when he's there. Shoddy attitude. No dedication. No commitment. Hasn't got a clue. It's just bad. It's bad all around. And I'm going to say it, yeah. Truth be known, what AJ needs right now is another loss. That's the truth. I don't think Usyk's going to be the one to do it, but me right now, that's how I'm feeling. This whole situation's got me mad. I'm sorry. And the fact that goofy AJ fans want to sit there and tell me that this is... Oh, nah. It won't be. I can't believe how you see it like this. I can't believe you think that Rob being a part-time trainer is a bad thing. Woo! It's mad! You man are mad. I don't know what's wrong with you. You need a good knock on your heads. You can't see how a dude who just swans around doing what he pleases... Don't care. Oh, boy, it's good for UK boxing. What? It's good for UK boxing to have a part-time dude? Is it? Of all the boxing trainers out there, is Rob really that great? That's the other thing that gets me. Again, honestly, yeah, I wouldn't even mind. Honestly, I'd keep my mouth shut. Even if this is the thing, even if someone was the best trainer, like even Shane, yeah, you know my opinion. I believe Shane's the best trainer in the world right now. But even Shane... having 2 commitments, whilst I wouldn't call it out, I would be thinking, you know what, that is a bit weird. Because it is, I'm sorry, it is, bottom line. No one should have 2 premier positions like that. You're leading the UK in boxing, in amateur boxing, and you're leading one of the best boxers in the world. 2 premier positions, fair enough, yeah. If you're training some little schoolgirl football club and, you know what I'm saying, and some other... That's fair enough, because they're just whatever. They're like little man positions. But 2 premier... When you're talking about premier football players, or premier football managers, and top boxing trainers,